Cookfest, brought to you in part by our friends at the Coalition for a Secure Energy Future. You know, North Dakotans know a thing or two about energy and about the environment because North Dakota is a leading coal producer. Our electricity rates are some of the lowest in the nation, and we're among only 7 states that meet all federal air quality standards. Tell that to some extreme environmentalist who wants us to stop using coal, for instance, for our electricity. I say, well, let's see. North Dakota's a coal state, leading coal producer. We got the low energy costs, and we have the distinction of being one of only 7 states that meet all the federal air quality standards. Why would we stop that? They'll look at you kind of like with a blank stare, you know. But it shuts the conversation down anyway, and you can move on to something a little more productive. But North Dakotans know that, and that's great. Find out more. Arm yourself with lots of great facts like this to have these conversations at secureenergyfuture.org. That's the website of the Coalition for a Secure Energy Future. Check that out. Our next guest on the program today to talk a little bit about lignite, speaking of coal, is Mike Holmes. He's Vice President of Research and Development and at the Lignite Energy Council. How are you doing, Mike?
Very good, thanks.
Thanks for joining us. Glad to have you on the program today. This is something I don't think many people do know about. What I just talked about is pretty well known. We're a leading coal producer. Our electricity rates among the lowest in the nation. That we have, great federal air quality standards. One of only 7 states that meet them all. But I don't know if people understand how much R&D, research and development, how much investment goes into this industry. Can you tell me a little bit about, for instance, the plants that exist right now? What we do in the way of R&D?
Yeah, there's a long, rich history of R&D in the state, and the lignite industry has been very proactive throughout the history of its existence in the state, and have reaped many benefits because of it, with efficiently operating and very well maintained plants. And we have a challenge in climate, uniqueness of our fuel and all that, and because of that historical technology and R&D development, the guys in the state, the utilities and coal companies are just top-notch on how to deal with those challenges.
Nobody stands around and says it's good enough, do they? They say, what more can we do, and really pushes the envelope. There's investments in the effort to find more technologies that reduce emissions. I mean, this is just an ongoing, constant effort, correct?
Yep, that's correct. The industry is never satisfied. They're always out there looking at better ways in all aspects of the industry's efforts. One example of the projects is a reclamation study. That the reclamation is top-notch already, but they're looking at ways to improve the soil compaction and everything that's associated with bringing the land to even better than existing before the mining came through. So continually doing efforts to improve even beyond what's needed.
What will the fruits of that be, Mike, as you look to what lies ahead for the next generation of power plants? What opportunities do you see coming as a result of this investment in R&D?
Well, so if you look first at our existing systems that are out there, the existing assets, the utility power plants, you had a great lead in that basically we have low-cost, clean, and dependable power in the state, and that's critical for our industry, from ag through all the other industry in the state. And so, first and foremost, we want to preserve and protect those existing units so that they can keep providing that important power to benefit North Dakota and the economy. And then, of course, we are continually looking at other value-added opportunities for the coal in the state. We have that tremendous, 800-year-plus supply of this resource, and so some of the R&D focuses on additional uses for the low-temperature heat that remains after the power production. Some of it is looking, as you've featured on your show in the past, at things like extracting rare earth elements for different industrial uses, from catalyst to medical to a whole suite of other uses. And so that as you're processing the coal and getting it ready for use for power production, you can extract those. So there's a whole suite of different value propositions. One of them that was just awarded is looking at combined use of the CO2 from the power plant with some of the low temperature heat in greenhouse applications to grow produce in the state and extend the growing season and improve the growth. So there are a lot of different opportunities beyond just the traditional that are being evaluated. And then, of course, next generation power is also on the radar and looking at ways to do that as effectively as possible.
Great ripple effect that happens without question. And, you mentioned one of my favorite stats, an 800-year supply. Economically recoverable coal in North Dakota. So ask yourself, this just makes no sense whatsoever. They keep it in the ground crowd. Really what they want to do is bankrupt America. They don't care about affordable energy. They don't care about reliable energy. They don't care about flying a plane. They don't care about any of that. When you have an 800-year supply of economically recoverable coal right now, and it provides the affordable energy that it does, the reliable energy that it does, that is getting greener every day and cleaner every day through the result of these R&D, why wouldn't you want to use that when it's sitting there? Why would you want to keep that in the ground? Just makes no sense whatsoever, and really I think outs a lot of the critics for the crazy ideas. Very fascinating conversation. Mike, anything else you want us to know today?
No, it's, again, with your lead in, the importance of that part of our industry to our economy. It's even more important than people realize when you look at those statistics, because we, with the climate we have and the wide open spaces and the type of industry we have with ag, we need that low-cost energy to keep thriving, and so that continues to be a critical focus. And a lot of neat things going. And in the R&D program for the state, we typically have 2 grant rounds, but this year, because of the engagement of the industry, we're having 4 grant rounds. So a lot of additional projects to be coming in the next few weeks, as well as again in October.
And folks, those are all grant rounds saying, hey, we believe this project is worthy of the dollars to be able to, again, cleaner and greener. So that's great energy. That's no pun intended happening there as well. And again, on electricity being affordable, it's just a no-brainer. I mean, if electricity isn't affordable, the cost of electricity goes up, the cost of everything goes up. The impact on that in the economy means, okay, businesses have to shut down. If the electricity isn't affordable, you can't run a plant. I mean, you got Dakota Growers pasta plant over in Carrington, okay? Energy already, probably their number 2 line underneath labor. And if that spikes, what happens? It's not affordable. Can't make pasta. Don't have the jobs anymore there. I mean, it's just one after another. I've given you one example, but there are many. You got to think about this, but that's why this is so important, and we're as strong and vocal supporters as we are. Mike, thanks for providing great information today. We appreciate it very much.
All right. Thank you for your time. You take care.